and welcome to People in Power. I'm Summer El-Shahat. In this program, the struggle for independence by the people of the Western Sahara, a power struggle over the future of Heathrow, the UK's largest airport. And later, in our Power of One, how the unexpected legacy of a tragic suicide is the saving of lives.
I don't believe in uniforms and I don't believe in rules and regulations.
The Polisario Front is committed to the liberation of the Sahrawi people and to the independence of the Western Sahara, which is now occupied by Morocco. In 2003, after intense negotiations, the Polisario agreed to a new peace plan put forth by the former US Secretary of State, James Baker. The plan called for a 5-year transitional period to be followed by a statewide referendum on independence or integration with Morocco. The plan was never accepted by Morocco. The Polisario is at present inactive. They haven't attacked Moroccan interests since the early 1990s. Despite this, Morocco still refuses to negotiate terms of a possible referendum on independence for the Sahrawi people. It claims sovereignty over the Western Sahara. A third round of UN-backed negotiations is due to take place next month. But if these talks fail, will it push the Polisario to take up arms again? Zain Awad reports.
The Western Sahara in southern Algeria. Barren, inhospitable, and unforgiving. Yet it's the home to tens of thousands of Sahrawis, cut off from the world. We're traveling to spend a week with them at the invitation of the Polisario, the Sahrawi guerrilla movement that's been fighting for independence since the 1970s. After years of failed peace talks, they now say they're ready to take up arms again.
Any moment Morocco or anyone else refuses to give us our independence, we will take up arms.
The Polisario maintains an iron grip on these camps, running them like mini-states. We arrive to a huge Sahrawi welcome and a message from the local Polisario governor made loud and clear.
المقترع الصحراوي هو يعني على انه ترجع الكلمه للشعب الصحراوي. المغرب ما عنده حق يقدم حكم ذاتي على ارض ما هي له.
While Morocco and the Polisario battle it out at the diplomatic level, the Sahrawi people say they have nothing but empty words, going back almost 2 decades, to when the UN body in charge of brokering a solution known as MINURSO promised to hold a referendum to decide their fate. They're still waiting for that referendum.
In the international organization there is some manipulation from Morocco in order to create some problems for the Sahrawis, in order to squeeze the Sahrawis to accept something that they like not.
The Polisario is coming under increasing pressure to give up the referendum and accept self-rule under Morocco. With no settlement in sight, this community continues to survive on UN charity handouts. But the UN's humanitarian agency, the UNHCR, is struggling to keep up in the face of donor fatigue.
I hope there will be a settlement. We all dream of a time when we become ourselves jobless.
But if you dream of being jobless one day, then how do you explain the fact that the UN has wasted 2 decades without calling for a referendum?
I mean, I would have loved to answer this question had I been a politician or had my organization been involved in politics. Our organization is purely humanitarian. I cannot answer, of course, for our colleagues in MINURSO. For us, we are quite happy to meet because we would like to bring the attention of the international community to this tragedy, refugee situation, which unfortunately seems to have been forgotten by many.
The international community's forgetfulness in the face of this refugee problem is indeed making the UNHCR's job more difficult. But Governor Mansour believes that there are other, more political reasons for the UNHCR's less than satisfactory performance.
They are not in the level of assistance. I think they are prepared for some assistance for an emergency situation when it's short. But when it takes long, the situation is very difficult for them to help in this situation. Because I don't think maybe they need more political will to do that.
Left to their own devices, Sahrawis have managed to go on with their lives through the sweltering heat of summer and the winter winds when temperatures fall below freezing. They've built their communities, turning what little they have into just enough to survive. Most of their men have only known adult life as fighters. Like Burhal Dal, he's been wearing the uniform for over 30 years.
I am tired. I am very tired. But I want my rights. Our children are tired. We grow older. We die, but we want our rights. I don't want to be in the army. I don't want to fight, but this has been imposed on us.
Assalamu alaikum. Zaina.
Burhal may be tired of fighting, but his son is part of a new and more radicalized Polisario generation. Born in these camps, they've only known life as refugees. They cannot see beyond their struggle.
If I was independent in my country, I would be able to think about my future and career. But all I can think of is liberating my country.
But if you had the chance, what would you have liked to become?
A surgeon. I wanted to be a surgeon.
Is there a way for you to be one?
At the moment, you mean? No. Not before we regain our independence, freedom and dignity. Once we achieve that, we can look after our personal matters.
The more the Polisario comes under pressure to give up independence, the more its people here make public their readiness for war. But there are questions surrounding the Polisario's military capacity, especially in the face of a well-equipped Moroccan army. We agreed with the Polisario to go to the most sensitive area, the border region at the heart of the military conflict, where all armed parties meet. The region is dominated by this gigantic wall. Morocco built it in the 1980s to isolate Western Sahara, and it planted landmines all around it.
We've driven 2.5 hours to come to this border area where Morocco-controlled and Polisario-controlled Western Sahara meet. We were told that we would have access to the United Nations, the Polisario army, and this wall.
But our minders, who never let us out of their sight, decided to deny us access to the military in favor of what looked like a carefully choreographed government meeting. We filmed for 10 minutes before being ushered out of the Parliament building. A strange turn of events for a movement that has always prided itself on its openness. The only times we were able to see the Polisario military machine at work was at checkpoints into the refugee camp. The army monitors those coming in to root out criminal activity. But we witnessed soldiers using different methods to do this. Charity workers here told us that people have little opportunity to express alternative views, especially ones in favor of a compromise with Morocco. The Polisario keeps fighting for nothing less than independence. Today, it's still willing to give negotiations a chance. If that fails, tomorrow it could be through the barrel of a gun.
We will get our independence, either through arms or through politics.
But at least they're negotiating with the Polisario. Are you not optimistic?
Very little hope. About 5%.
Only?
Only.
And the remaining 95%?
Is liberation through arms.
After the break, people power against Heathrow's third runway.